All right, let's get some more insight now on the financial implications of the COVID-19 pandemic and, of course, the ongoing lockdown. We're joined by Economist Dr. Thabi Leoka. Good evening, Dr. Leoka, and thank you so much for your time on the Pulse today. Of course, some have been asking whether this lockdown, especially a hard lockdown, has been worthwhile. Today we're seeing some of the numbers, SARS reporting some of its losses in terms of revenue collection. What are your reflections on that part of this conversation?
I think that it was a very difficult decision for the government to make. This is a global pandemic, and the first response is to prioritize people's lives. So the lockdown was the right decision, but it was always going to be costly. If you look at what's happening globally, we're not the only country that's dealing with the ramifications of this lockdown. And so we are expecting, very bad GDP numbers. The shortfall in terms of revenue collection is also expected if all companies are locked down or not operating, and companies are also shedding jobs. So it's going to be very tough to get back to normal, but it was expected given that we had to do what we did in order for us to flatten the curve.
Of course, there have also been some tax relief measures that have been announced as part of the COVID-19 plan. Speak to us about how exactly these are going to work, especially in line again of the falling revenue collection. What is going to be the culminating impact of all of these interventions?
Sorry, can you repeat that? It was not very clear.
Sure. So what I'm asking you about is the tax relief measures that we have seen passed on to consumers. How is that going to work, especially where SARS is already reporting losses? How much more is that going to add to their current losses?
As long as we still have this lockdown, and as long as many people are not working, and especially in the informal sector or small and medium-sized industries, as long as that has not come on board, we are going to see this hemorrhaging. And even though the state is supporting many companies and also many people, in this environment, it is very difficult to spend and pay towards taxes, be it VAT, etc., when there's so much uncertainty. So it's going to take some time, and this is going to be very negative for a few months. But as we normalize, I think that we'll start to see improvements in the revenue numbers. And also, I think that it is normal for companies to shed jobs, even though it's not ideal, because it actually impacts negatively on the economy, more so than keeping workers and paying them, even if it's salary. But these are very difficult times, and we will encounter challenges, but we also need to look at the positive side, and hopefully we can overcome this. We'll see employment, and we'll see contributions towards revenues.
Sure. And just briefly, are there immediate interventions that you think the state can be exploring in order to almost stimulate the economy right now, perhaps things that are not already on the table?
So I do suspect that the state will increase its funding. Already, we have 800 billion rands that's been dedicated towards as a relief fund towards this, a safety net caused by this COVID-19. And it may not be enough, and I suspect that the government will approach the multilateral organizations such as the IMF and World Bank and the New Development Bank, and they will get the necessary funding that will help put the safety net that is required. But we're a country that doesn't have, in terms of fiscal space, very little fiscal space. So we may have to borrow in order for us to fill in the gaps.
All right, let's leave it there for this evening. That was Economist Dr. Thabi Leoka.